Hey, what's going on, Shadows? It's your boy Boushado here, and today is going to be my new start of a new series called Boss Review, where we are going to be taking a look at all the bosses in various games and see which ones could be improved on, better yet, or just a state to perfection that are these bosses. Today, in the first episode, we are going to be tackling Borderlands 3's Mouthpiece. Now, Mouthpiece. How I should say before anything is how I'm going to be, how to say this, organizing these. So I have 5 key components that I definitely need to work on, and what improves these reviews. That would be, the first one's gonna be where are they in story. That could be their own separate story, or that could be for how they're overarching in the main story if implied in the main story. The second one would be personality, like the personality of the boss and how they are. C would be mainly their attacks, and then D would be the arena that they're in. Finally, finishing off with the fifth one. I don't know if I did this in word or number. I don't remember, but the fifth one, which is going to be what kind of loot did they drop. Now I'm not doing shit for this because of the fact that he's basically just a badass psycho. That's all he is. There's nothing really special to him. His arena is literally there just for you to one-shot him with with the fire barrels if you want to speedrun the game. So I'm not going to be doing shit for this arena, not that for obvious reasons, of course. Now, so let's get into it with the first point, his personality. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is the plot of the story for Mouthpiece. So, Mouthpiece is the very first boss. So, in the story, he actually has surprisingly a lot amount to do for the story. You see, for this whole beginning segment of Pandora, if you don't know, it's all about getting the Vault map. To progress the game via the planetary system that they have in store. So Mouthpiece is actually the one to in fact have this, ironically have the map, being given it to by the Sun Smashers clan, which you will meet the leader of Vaughn earlier in the game if you have no knowledge of that. Honestly, I say his story, his real thing, like his story, is actually quite large. Like to overall story, but his overall character is really just a news, a radio station guy that supports the Calypsos. So for himself, he's very lackluster. For the whole story, he's fairly huge. Now let's get on to the second thing, which is going to be his personality. So his personality is all about, here we go. You know, it's a very musician field. He has a very beatbox theme to him, which honestly isn't that bad. Sure, it's a little bit lackluster, but it actually isn't that bad when you look at all of the items that he has in store. You know, being a musician jazzer that follows the Calypsos, it's unique for the Borderlands series, but overall, I say it's very lackluster when it comes to himself. The next thing we're going to talk about, this is the big thing, is going to be his attacks. You know, what he has with the attacks. And no, I'm not going to include his arena attacks for this. That's going to be in the next section about his arena. So, Mouthpiece is like everything else. It's a very bland kind of thing for his arena. He has... for his attacks, he's a marauder, I think, or a matter of stealing. Everyone was like, basically, he's a shieldy guy, shieldy boy that has a pistol that he shoots that you could actually get. We'll talk about that in the looting section. But overall, his normal attacks, it's really just shooting, the killing ward that's called. But if you pay attention to his shield, you might not notice, but if you pay attention to his shield, it will actually tell you how long it is until it clicks, or until his next attack or his arena attack happens, which we will discuss now. So the arena for Mouthpiece is arguably the biggest thing in this clearly side for a boss. The arena on on every side plus the center serve are jukeboxes. Though he has a rate of tag that he'll activate 2 or 3 of the jukebox walls, which will damage you for quite a lot amount if higher mayhem modes. He also has the sensor, which is supposed to be protection from the 4 walls or the walls ones. Things that this one can also be attacked by the jukeboxes inside the center. He does this a lot, as this is his main gimmick, is the arena, but it doesn't mean it's very easy to dodge because of the cool time that he has. It's roughly around a second, so if you're at the edge of the arena, you're in for no luck for this boss, really. It's like you have no luck for dodging it, and in higher mayhem levels, like the gameplay you're looking at right now, in my mayhem 6, with, as you can see, has like around 2,000 shield, or 22,000 shield, not 100% certain on that, don't quote me on that. But, as you can see, I'm almost dead per hit. I do have the loaded dice on, so it is lowering my health. The fact that it's going to 22,000 shield is ridiculous. So, Mouthpiece's arena is really what drives this boss to be a great boss fight. Now we're going to get on to the final thing, and arguably the biggest thing for the Borderlands series, the loot. Now you see the loot for Mouthpiece is pretty nice actually. He has, it's a nice standard loot pile for the boss, for especially the beginning bosses. So every single time he will draw, I want to point out the specific ones that I know of, and sorry if I missed anything else, but like I'm trying to think of everything, but I cannot know every single boss loot. So one thing that he drops every single time is his pistol called the Killing Word. It's arguably maybe be your first COV gun that you'll get your hands on first time running into this boss. So honestly, that's pretty variable. It's a nice little bonus. It does shoot out musical notes, which is quite cool compared to the other COVs in this game, which honestly, compared to Legendaries, there's a lot. Now, he does have a couple of exclusives, but I want to point out the big one for this run, or for this review. And that's going to be the Dubstep Shotgun. Cannot think of the name on top of my head, I am sorry for that. But basically what it is that it's a first hit Malon. And it has a high knockback, a crazily high knockback at that. And it's actually fairly strong for early game and quite nice to farm once you get Mouthpiece to get those extra levels that you desperately need in early game if you're doing like a damage run or something along those lines. And then those are really the two loot things that I can really agree with this boss. Everything else is like, doesn't really coincide with him, doesn't really bring out that flavor that he has. But overall, I believe that Mouthpiece is a nice addition to Borderlands 3, being the beginning boss. You have to remember that this boss is the starting boss. Like their first beginning boss. So, you know, you shouldn't really expect that much. A very simple boss fight is definitely what you will get if you're expecting it. Overall, I will rate this boss maybe a 7 out of 10, or maybe roughly around an 8 out of 10. Because its simplicity is nice, but the thing is that, its story points isn't really that much. It does feel kind of forced at times, but his attacks are quite, how to say, it's rewarding, I guess you could say, or quite interesting compared to the rest of the game. Attacks which are somewhat very, how would say this, very normal, or very simple at times, at certain times. So overall, next Friday or next Wednesday, or maybe in a couple of days, I'll be uploading my review on the Joey Ultraviolent event before it goes away. So probably tomorrow, I'm gonna guess for tomorrow. Not 100% certain there. I will get it by the event ends, which is on June 4th. So yeah, hope you're excited for that. If you did enjoy this review, please, I beg of you, to hit the like button and subscribe, and hit that little notification bell for whenever I do upload my stuff. Oh yeah, and also I have to say at the end here that this is gonna be a consistent series. I hope if this does well. I'm gonna go. My plan is to go through every single Borderlands boss plus DLC 1 and 2 for now until I get more, and then go play some other bosses, or I'll go to some other bosses that or other games with other bosses. My bad. That will traverse into more and more, learning how much of a good boss has to be for a certain genre to deal with. So yeah, I just want to say at the end here, I hope you all enjoy, and I'll see y'all in the next video.